Lincoln Financial Field in Philadelphia, PA. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Dallas Cowboys and the Philadelphia Eagles. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin, and Charles, you look at this Eagles team as they interplay here. They come in playing pretty good football. Winners of 4 of their last 6 games. Meanwhile, for the visitors here, the Cowboys, they come in after tasting defeat for the first time in about a month as their loss snapped a 4-game winning streak. The shadow's starting to get a bit longer. Week 10 of the NFL season is here, and we're underway on EA Sports. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. So now here comes the Eagles offense as they get ready to take over. They'll be led out by their 6'5" quarterback out of North Dakota State. It's Carson Wentz.
And I thought it was a really nice performance last week by him. 3 touchdown passes. I think that signifies exactly what he was getting done. He did have the 1 interception.
But that's the ratio you say you're okay with, right?
If you go 3-1, you're going to be pretty happy over the course of a season. And let's face it, he'll never blame the receiver publicly. But behind closed doors, he probably told his agent, hey, what's the deal? I should have had a perfect game.
Call it officially a loss of 2 on the first play from scrimmage. 2nd down. Okay, there's a tone setter. First play from scrimmage. Stuff them in the backfield.
You know what they were doing last night in the hotel room? Visualizing exactly that. That's what they were thinking about. Making that play, having leverage, lower than the offensive lineman, getting into the offensive backfield, knocking someone down. Just what you said, setting the tone early for this game.
Jeez, you are fired up.
When I see a play like that, I can't help it.
And here we go.
On 2nd and 12, Wentz. And down he goes. They bring down Wentz on the sack. DeMarcus Lawrence in there to get him sack number 14 for him on the year.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
Eagles coming up here on a 3rd and long, so Wentz and company with some work to do after the sack. Working from the gun, Wentz. And complete to Zach Ertz. And this effort will not get it done. He stopped well short of the first down at the 29. It'll be a pickup of 13, but it'll still lead to a 4th down.
So much about this game is just understanding situations and then having to execute, isn't it? Guard the first down sticks. Don't let them get there. And they rallied and made the tackle.
It's a 49-yard punt, but subtract 9 there for the return. And the Cowboys will take over the football with a 1st and 10. So here now the Cowboy offense onto the field to get their first crack at it. As we get a peek at their dynamic signal caller hailing from Mississippi State, it's Dak Prescott.
He had the numbers of a game last week that if you win, you talk about him being a gritty guy, managing the game, getting it done. But they lost. So obviously 2 interceptions, 1 touchdown pass, that's not going to be good enough. Got to get that changed around.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete.
Defensively here, you're facing a top 5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high-powered, you got to find a way to hold them under 20. Because to me, that's the magic number. 20-point score gives yourself you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
And I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace.
And they'll get to him after a gain of 7 to the 47. The numbers for Zeke from last week: 16 carries, 86 yards.
He's having a nice season, and he knows where he ranks in the league. Don't ever let a running back tell you that they don't know that. They do, So what he's doing now is lobbying the offensive coordinator all week long. Hey, how about a few more touches? He's one big game away from maybe leading the league.
Now he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. So Amari Cooper out of Northwestern High School in Miami making a nice play there.
And it's so funny that when I was going through the draft process when he came out of Alabama and was inquiring about him and his skills, they say it all began back in Miami. He really became a pro receiver at a young age because of his attention to detail and precision. But don't forget his athletic ability. That's what made that catch there.
And he did spend 1 year with Teddy Bridgewater as his quarterback there, so that helped back in high school. On first down, it's Elliott. And he'll go down here at the 12-yard line. Tackle made that time by Brandon Graham. A look now at the defensive starters for Philadelphia. They were terrific last week in the win over the Rams.
Have to admit, I was extremely impressed by what I saw. They ended up getting 4 sacks in the game, stayed in the face of the quarterback the entire time, made it difficult for him to step up and find receivers downfield.
And that's what they told us this week, that pressure on the QB is key. The first down run got 5. Here's 2nd and 5. And this is caught. It's Cooper. And he is into the end zone for a Cowboy touchdown. Amari Cooper with touchdown number 8 on the year. And they are able to strike first here on their opening drive. An ideal start for them, really. You force the punt, and then you go down and score.
And you've got to see a fist pump on the sideline from the head coach, don't you? Because he's turned into his bench, and he's telling his team, this is how we prepare. Force the punt, go downfield and score. I told you guys, it's just like a boxer in the gym preparing for the fight. Now we get to turn it all loose.
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Here's the Philadelphia offensive unit now as they head out to take over possession. And a 3 and out on that first drive. We'll see if they can do better here.
They should have a better opportunity because the nerves should be settled now. That first series, everybody goes out with a little extra emotion. So now they get a chance to go back out and say, okay, now we're into the game. Let's go play and play as best we can.
You almost get a mulligan then on that first drive?
Sometimes it absolutely serves that way. You get a second opportunity. Nothing big happened. But then again, you didn't commit any mistakes either. Off you go.
On second down now, it's Sanders. And running room scarce here. He's going to be stopped in his tracks at the line of scrimmage. Not enough there for a first. No gain, as a matter of fact. And it leaves them at 3rd and 1. And on 3rd down, the Cowboys bring in an extra defensive back. Play fake to Sanders. Now here's Wentz. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
I think the punter might start to get into a pretty good rhythm here if he keeps getting opportunities. But that's the last thing his team wants to have happen, right? The last thing you want to see is your punter feeling pretty good because he's out there all the time.
Yeah, first quarter only, but they're 0 for 2 on 3rd down conversions to start this thing. Call that a 45-yard punt, just 2 yards there on the return. And out will come the offense as they take over. Here's the Dallas offense now, heading back out onto the field. And still a lot of football to be played in this season. We're only in November. A lot can happen between now and January. But if it ended today, they would just be on the outside of the playoff picture looking in. So a lot to fight for.
Yeah, and wasn't it interesting in our meeting with the coaching staff that they all made sure to let us know, we know where we are right now, but the playoffs don't start tomorrow. We still got some time, and they plan on putting it together, formulating a streak, that the whole month of December is still left to play. They think they can get in.
And they made it very obvious to us that there's no playoff talk in the locker room right now. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Derek Barnett able to maneuver in for the sack. Well, they go play fake. The problem is nobody was faked out.
And when no one's faked out, what's the end result? Quarterback gets hit.
To try again after the sack. Prescott letting one fly deep for Cooper. And this is going to wind up incomplete. The coverage there too strong on the deep ball, and now they face a third down. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. Here's Prescott. Now that'll be tipped and intercepted. Picked off by Nate Gehring. And they will set up shop in enemy territory at the 42-yard line. That's now his second interception in as many weeks from his linebacker position.
And think about all the different techniques he has to employ in a passing situation. Is he spot dropping because it's zone? Is he picking up man-to-man? Is he having to run with a running back or a tight end? In any event, great. Head on a swivel and excellent hands.
Yeah, versatility and showing those hands. Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards. Now Wentz on the bootleg. The Sanders has got it complete.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
They'll try and run for it with Sanders. And he will be very close to a first down, but I see the closed fist of the referee, and that means 4th down. It'll be called a gain of 2, and that'll leave them with some options here on 4th and inches.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level, because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat? And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is at well over 300 pounds. He's a big man.
On for the field goal, a 49-yard attempt.
And his kick is absolutely perfect. And they are on the board, but still trailing. It's 7-3. So they do get 3 points, but that's now 3 drives with only the 3 points, not a ratio that's going to win you many ball games.
Not at all, Brandon. And think about it this way. We all know payoff is the key, right? And wouldn't we love to have the concession on every T-shirt that's been printed in football that says finish on it? Because that's the mantra everywhere. Got to be able to finish drives, put points on the board.
Dak and the Cowboy offense heading back onto the field. And he comes out on the heels of an interception he threw last time they had the ball.
Yeah, and you know, the quarterbacks that I know that are the best ones, the ones that really know how to lead their team, they tell them, that's on me. That's my bad. But let's go back out there and move ahead again, guys. We can get this done.
One good thing for him, it did only lead to 3 points and not a touchdown after that turnover.
Big thanks to the defense.
A first down throw for Prescott. Got his man there complete to Gallup. And he's going to get this down to the 35-yard line. The catch and run, good for 24 yards.
Not only have they completed a couple on this drive, but they peeled off some pretty good chunks of yardage, too.
Absolutely. Great start. 2 nice plays in the pass game. Now can they continue to feed off that? They'll run with Elliott. Tackled that time by Sidney Jones.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense, because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
Nigel Bradham brings him down. The 25-yard line is what they need here. This is third down. From the shotgun, it's Prescott. And he's able to hook up with Michael Gallup. And finally, down he goes as they work it inside the 10 to the 7. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. He's such a good route runner. Shows it there on third down. Very proficient and a good pass.
And you know what I've observed over the years in the NFL? The better a route runner you are, the more confidence your guy's going to have in you to go to you in important times because he can trust you being in the right spot, and they connected there and picked up a 1st down.
Now Elliott. And he'll be stopped just outside the 5 at the 6. It's a gain of a yard, and it'll set up 2nd and goal.
Well, it's been the air game that's taken them down on this drive before they finally turned around and handed it off on the last play.
And now they're looking for the big boys to get him in the end zone. Couldn't do it there.
It'll be interesting to see. Offensive lines had to pass block a lot on this drive. Will they be able to revert and fire out and create some space in the run game?
On 2nd and goal, Prescott. That is caught. It's Cooper for the Cowboy touchdown. 2 first-half touchdown passes now for Dak Prescott. And the Cowboys, they push out in front further.
A lot of people might call this backyard football. Sometimes just understanding who you've got out wide and who you're going to throw it to. Give him an opportunity to go up and make a play, even when contested. Looks like that one worked out pretty well. The trust factor, in effect.
Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This will be taken in at the 1.
And that's the type of return that puts a tremendous amount of pressure on the defense now. They've got to go out on the field almost like it's a sudden change, almost like it's a turnover. Maybe I go out there and try and stop them, but boy, what a tough spot they're in.
On 1st and 10, here's Wentz. Blitz coming, and down he goes.
Come on, Line. Come on, Line. We better not.
It's interesting, partner, that most defenses try and guard the 35-yard line actively because they think the way kickers are nowadays, about a 52-yard field goal, they're kind of giving up points. But you get even deeper into territory, you get into the red zone, they're going to guard it even more, which means more pressure, more blitzing.
And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. Officially, it will go as a 1-yard loss, and that's going to lead to a 3rd down. The chance of wasting this great starting field position, a real threat. This is 3rd and long. From the gun, it's Wentz. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
They were in the top 5 in sacks in the league coming into this one. That's their 3rd one in this game. Obviously, pass rush has been a strength of this team all year long.
And apparently they're not satisfied with top 5. They want to climb that ladder.
Yeah, I think it goes back to their offseason. They decided to make it a priority, and it's working out.
So out comes a field goal team now for the 2nd time here today. He made his first, this from 47 yards out. And this is just outside the right upright. It's no good, and this score will stay right where it is.
Everything looked good. Good snap, good hold. Sometimes, though, the ball just doesn't want to go where you want it. And this one winds up no good.
Dak and the Cowboys ready for their next possession. And he's looked pretty good. Does have the 1 interception, but 2 touchdown passes so far. Your analysis?
They'll take the offset. When you talk about throwing 2 touchdown passes, no one wants to see an interception thrown, but those things happen in the course of a ball game and over the course of a season. But throwing 2 touchdown passes, that's why the team has an advantage. That's what they're looking for more of.
They'll be hoping to make it a 3-to-1 ratio here in the 2nd quarter. Now, after the completion, we're going to get a timeout, an injured player. While the training staff works on him, we'll step aside and be right back.
Watch the backer.
They'll run on first down. Elliott. And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves them with 2 to go on second down. On second down, Elliott. And he's taken down inside the 30. So after a good run by Zeke, another 1st and 10. Now a handoff here to his running back. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. 13 yards and a first down, Cowboys.
Let's go, boys. Bring it up.
A reminder, once we hit halftime, as we do all season, we'll send it down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have all the stats and scores from games in progress around the NFL.
The best multitasker in the business, the coach.
It's a gain of 5 on the play, and it'll make it second down. 2nd and 5 after the 5-yard completion on first down. Prescott. Got an open man, the tight end, Jarwin. And now they're inside the 10 as he's brought down at the 9. That throw good for only a couple. It brings up 3rd down.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each.
And he'll take it into the end zone for a Cowboy touchdown. Ezekiel Elliott with touchdown number 8 on the year. And the Cowboys, they push out in front further.
Could not block that one any better. Everyone was accounted for, and a great surge by the offensive line.
Extra point good by Prater. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. So that winds up a 7-play drive all told. And it culminates in a touchdown run by Ezekiel Elliott. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This will be taken in at the 1. And he'll get it up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. There again is the running back as he trots onto the field. They've given him some touches. They haven't had a lot of success on the ground. Do you maybe keep going to that well, or do you mix it up more?
I think you mix it up more, try and loosen things up. Get the defense to react to other people, other plays, but don't forget about it. That's your horse. You know, Secretariat lost twice in his career.
So educational. That's very true, kids. Look it up. So the line of scrimmage moves all the way across the 50 now as they come up 1st and 10.
You better be afraid of me.
Shotgun now for Wentz. And he's going to go down. They sack him back at the 42. Now the Eagles will use the second of their timeouts as the clock shows 50 seconds to play here in half number 1. After the sack on first down, Wentz. They're going to need to get up and set in a hurry. From the gun on 3rd down, Wentz. Yeah, that one's going to be knocked away and incomplete.
They went with the dime look that time on defense, just flooded the field with defensive backs, blanketed everyone, took away all the passing angles, thus the incompletion.
And he gets it away, a directional kick going toward the sideline. And this is going to be ruled out, I think, just inside the 20. Yes, it will. Side judge calls it at the 19-yard line. Getting set to go again as we look at the back heading onto the field again. A good job in the passing game, decent job in the running game, but really they've been more effective through the air. We'll see if that shifts at all as this goes on.
Thus far, it feels like they're calling this game in reverse. Normally you run to set up the pass. Here it feels like they're passing, hoping to set up the run and be more effective later on in the game.
And you can do it both ways. We usually talk about it in the reverse, however.
No doubt about it.
Now the Cowboys going to burn the first of their timeouts as it'll come with 15 seconds to play in the first half. From up near the 40 now after the big play to start, here's another 1st and 10.
We're going to 54.
Out of the gun. Here's Prescott. And that's incomplete. Clock stops with 10 seconds left. line of scrimmage, still the 39 on 2nd and 10. To throw is Prescott. Eluding the pressure right. And that will be incomplete. 4 ticks left here on the clock. Trying to get one more in here before the quarter breaks. On 3rd down, Elliott. And this play will be blown up. He'll lose yardage back at the 38. So you want the 3rd quarter already? No problem. Let's do it. The Cowboys will get the football first here, and they have the lead as well as we are underway in quarter 3. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line.
Let's go. Let's go.
Out come the Cowboys now as he'll go on offense first here in this 3rd quarter. They built a good first-half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Prescott to throw it. His throw incomplete.
And now offensively it's 3rd and 10, and I'm just thinking to myself, actors always say, what's my motivation before a big scene? Right now the play caller's thinking, what have I done before that's worked well that I can go to right now?
Yeah, because they were pretty successful in the first half scoring points. Haven't done anything so far here in the second half. And Wilson has it. And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down. 21 yards there on 3rd down.
Ready? Tight end right. Tight end right. Hey.
On 1st down, it's Elliott. Looking for a seam, but finding none. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it. Officially no gain on the play, and it's 2nd down.
As usual, the hallmark of a good run defense, linebackers making plays near the line of scrimmage. Absolutely nowhere to run there.
Looking to throw on 2nd down. Prescott. And he slings one that's incomplete.
Oh, man, that was close. The opportunity to change momentum, big play, right in his hands, unable to come down with it.
A sigh of relief, no doubt, on offense if that fell harmlessly to the ground. On 3rd down, it's Prescott. Oh, he's able to outmuscle him here as he pulls it in. And he has another 1st down as he'll get the ball down to the Eagles' 35. Whatever the discussions were at halftime to try to slow down this offense, it has not worked to this point.
Yeah, I have a vision right now of everything that was discussed at the half just being torn in shreds or being erased off of the Microsoft Surface tablets because none of it is working. They are really locked in on offense.
Prescott now, 5 straight completions here in this second half. 1st and 10. Now Prescott. And a flag comes in as that one falls incomplete. Well, let's see who this is on. Clearly wasn't outside of the tackle box. There's your penalty.
And accompanying that penalty, a loss of down.
They lose the yardage, and, of course, they also lose the down on the grounding call, and it's quickly 2nd and long. After the penalty, it's Elliott. He takes this for about 6 down inside the 40.
Looks to me like maybe there's a little attrition setting in with this drive, because when you see that type of a run, I get the feeling the defense gets a little bit tired.
And that's the last thing they need, especially when they look up at the scoreboard. Caught. It's Wilson. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. The 21 yards there as they convert on 3rd. They'll go with Pollard here on 1st down. And he gets it down close to the 10-yard line. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3. Going to run again here with Pollard. And here he'll get it down to the 7. A gain of 5, good enough for the 1st down.
3rd quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he is into the end zone for a Cowboy touchdown. Ezekiel Elliott, his 2nd touchdown of the afternoon. And the Cowboys, they push out in front further. And he certainly played a pivotal role with those 2 TDs and why they're up on the scoreboard right now.
Well, someone's all about winning, aren't they? Because he's not worried about the number. Sure, it's great to have 2 touchdowns. But the bottom line is what he's doing is contributing to their lead. He wants to continue to do so.
This is taken at the 3. And he'll make it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. So here are the Eagles now as they get set for their first possession of the 2nd half. They trail offense, first time to touch the ball in quarter 3, and we'll see what they can do.
And I can't wait to see what they have planned, because some teams script to start a half. Other teams just go, okay, these are the sequence of plays we want to run. These things worked well for us. And sometimes they throw in that big chunk play right away.
Shocker.
Try and get after them early and try and create a big play to give themselves some momentum.
See what they have up their sleeve. That's one they certainly wish they had back. A loss of 8.
Go. 120.
55, Mike. Wants to run. They're running it.
Throwing on 2nd and long. Wentz. And that going to be incomplete. A lot of contact, no call, and it's 3rd down. Those passes out that far wide always make you hold your breath a little bit. Felt like it was in the air for a while.
What it does is it allows a defender to gain some ground, come from a long distance, and have a chance to affect the pass.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Here's Wentz to throw as Sanders has it poked free. It's picked up by the Cowboys. And this is going to be brought back for a fumble return touchdown by the Cowboys. Huge play by the defense, not only to force the fumble, obviously, but to return it for a touchdown.
And I know it's no fun for anyone who plays offense, but isn't it fun to see how a defense rallies when there's a fumble return and everyone tries to find someone to block and bring it all the way home?
I always like their celebrations because they don't get there that often.
No, they're not choreographed very well usually.
Now Prater to add the PAT. And he's been a busy man, 5 for 5 now as he knocks another one through to extend the lead. So not only the cough up, but then the pickup on the other side, the scoop, and the score the other way, the fumble return for a touchdown. And you can bet they're preaching two hands on the ball here as the kick's away following that fumble return. This will be taken in at the 1. And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line.
Let's go!
A look at the running back, the man out of the backfield as he gears up to go again. Looking for a bounce back, had the fumble a moment ago that went for a touchdown the other direction. See if he can get back in rhythm.
And you have to be very careful about having too quick of a hook with really good players. I did a guy's game in high school where he fumbled 3 times in the first quarter, finished with over 300 yards on the night, later ended up in the NFL. If you've got a talented back, give it back to him.
Watch the screen! Watch the screen!
Another run here with Sanders. And that leaves him with 3rd and just a couple.
In every game, teams are looking for that momentum. And that run there, the offense feels like, hey, maybe we can get something going. But defensively, they've slowed them down the entire game. They don't want to turn into more. They're going to try and figure out a way to take it back on this next play.
Man out, man out, man out, man out.
On 3rd down, they'll run it with Sanders. Boy, no chance as he was met and dropped behind the line there. A loss of a yard, and it brings up 4th.
He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
And now it's the punter Weil on as he sends this one away. And this will be taken at the 13. A very good return that time. 18 yards. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. Dak Prescott of the offense heading back onto the field. How do you think he personally is evaluating his game so far? He was pretty good in the first half, been good so far here in the 3rd quarter. He's got to like it, right?
Not looking for the dramatics here. Not trying to set the world on fire in terms of stats. It's almost like you're driving. Hands at 10 and 2, alert for anything out there, watching for trouble on the road, and making sure you get the team home.
The bus driver. Let's see if he can drive the bus here again on this drive. 1st down, Prescott. Dancing to his left. And seeing no options, he just tosses this one away, incomplete. Now that'll bring up 2nd down. So 2nd down, still 10 yards to go. Ball on the 43.
Hey, kill!
They go back to Elliott. He's been busy. And he'll be be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. It's a first down on a gain of 10.
Yeah, another good run there. He's been such a big part of their success here this afternoon. And that last carry, it puts him over 100 yards now for the day.
Hey, count. 20, 26.
Prescott looks to throw on first. He's going to find Gallup here complete. Touchdown, Cowboys! 3 touchdown passes now for Dak Prescott as his guys continue to put this one out of reach. And a nice job by him to catch the slant and then navigate and break free.
And receivers love slant routes because it gets the ball in their hands so quickly and oftentimes on the move. And when they're on the move like that, then they get to use their best asset, which is usually their speed.
And their speed sometimes, like this instance, can take them into the end zone. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This is taken at the 3. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28-yard line. Philadelphia getting set to take the field. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
We have played 3 quarters. You are watching the NFL on EA Sports. And welcome back. We are in the city of brotherly love, Philadelphia. And this is a blowout so far as we get set for the fourth quarter. A very one-sided affair. Throwing on second down. Wentz. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. DeMarcus Lawrence. What a season he continues to have. His 15th sack of the campaign.
We've been around this league for a while, and many coaches never pull their starting quarterback, almost no matter the situation. In this case, though, I think he's got to make a decision. He's taking a pretty good beating out there.
Yeah, with the deficit, maybe not wanting to risk an injury. Eagles coming up here on a 3rd and long, so Wentz and company with some work to do after the sack.
Mike, 55.
Wentz going to throw. And able to catch it on the left sideline, but they're going to rule him out of bounds. So it'll be incomplete, certainly one they'd like to have back as it brings up 4th down. Another incompletion. You know, it's a wonder he's still moving around back there the number of times he's been sacked.
Yeah, he's staying out there, isn't he? And you don't think about it much in a game like this, but he's showing incredible leadership. Still competing, still fighting, not taking himself out of a ball game that appears lost.
It's a 44-yard punt, just 3 on the return. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. Out comes Michael Gallup and company as they take the field. And I know that they've double-teamed him a couple times, but not a ton. Whatever they're doing isn't working. He's up over 100 yards. We'll see how they adjust.
And when they do that, they weaken their defense in other places as well. And how many times have we done games where we've seen a guy have a big game like this? But it's usually not by himself, is it? Right. Usually it opens it up for other people to have big games as well.
Charles, you said earlier this defense is probably going to need to hold these guys right around 20 or under that if they were going to have a chance. It was evident pretty early on that wasn't going to happen.
Yeah, they left 20 behind a long time ago in this game, didn't they? It looks like they're headed towards a big, big number. But 20 was the threshold because that kept them in the ball game and kept the pressure off of their own offense.
15 yards on the play, first down. Another example of this offense really having their way, Charles, and another big chunk play there on the ground.
And when you look at the defense, they've got to do a much better job of wrapping up when they tap.
And he lost the football.
Wow, that ball gets knocked free, but a teammate comes along and scoops it up. It's almost like baseball. Guys at bat, people are on base in scoring position. One guy doesn't get him home. The next guy comes through and picks him up.
And avoids the turnover. Call it a gain of a yard, and it's going to bring up 3rd and 5. The Cowboys on 3rd down. They've been very good, 5 for 7 thus far. This will be 3rd and 5. Back to throw. Alexander. That's into the hands of Gallup over the middle. Well, this is going to depend on the spot, but it's not a very generous one. He looks to be about a yard or so short. And no move to get the offense off the field. They'll stay put on 4th and 1. On 4th down, Alexander. This to Jarwin. And he's going to have the first down yardage as he's down at about the 30-yard line. Well, they deemed it 4-down territory, and they got 4 yards to pick up the first. So 1st and 10 now from the 30. Now a shotgun handoff to Pollard. Down to about the 22 here. And now it looks like we've got a Cowboy shaken up down there on the field. While the training staff takes a peek, we'll take a break. A good run, got 7 on first. Here's 2nd and 3. Now Weber. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. That's a big loss of 3, and it brings up 3rd down.
Brandon, it's clearly a running situation when you're up in the 4th quarter. They're going to have to stack the box and make it difficult for them to move the ball.
Made it very difficult right there. Now they need to repeat that effort.
Yeah, bring 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take to slow them down.
A run for Weber. And not much of a hole there as he gets it down to about the 24-yard line. Just a yard on the run there. That's going to bring us to a 4th down.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. What that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
So it's 3 more points, and that widens this thing out even further here in the 4th.
And you know in this league, you can never have enough points. But this widens it out, as you said. And now it's all about ball control, isn't it?
And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. And out now come the Eagles. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. Now, the first play of the drive there is incomplete. He was trying to get it to Zach Ertz that time. And that'll bring up 2nd down. An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. Throwing now is Wentz. And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's third down. The Eagles on third down. It has been a disaster. 0 for 8 thus far. This is 3rd and 10. Now Wentz. Now they go screen. It's complete. Well, you can see what they wanted to do. They wanted to set up the screen there, but it got blown up.
It's hard to run that play if you're not getting a lot of pressure at the quarterback because the space doesn't open up. They were able to read that one and slow it down and stop it before they could get a first down.
12 yards on the return that time.
We got this.
Out comes Michael Gallup and company as they take the field. They might want to mix something up defensively because he's been shredding them a bit, hasn't he?
That he has, and even with all the changes that you know are going on the defensive side of the ball, he's still finding ways to get open, finding the right.
And he will get into the end zone. It's another touchdown. This thing is ugly. So another score there, and often you talk about the 3 phases of the game. Defense, offense, special teams. It's been a clean sweep in this one, hasn't it?
It certainly has. They've been pretty dominant throughout this game. And privately, the head coach will add a 4th phase. That's the coaching. And he'll tell the ownership that as he tries to negotiate a new contract off of this win.
They are looking strong here in the 4th quarter. Prater on to add the extra point. Now, this one was over a while ago as they just add on to their big lead. So they hit pay dirt on just one play. The long run, the scamper, and a very nice scamper into the end zone for the touchdown. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Now Philadelphia ready to get going on offense again. And right now these guys, they're shuffling a little bit, maybe doubting because 3 straight drives have ended with them punting the football away.
Yeah, so you start pointing fingers at each other a little bit, asking a lot of questions. What are you seeing? What are you getting? Maybe trying to narrow down your playbook a little bit and maybe get simpler rather than more complex in order to try and fashion together a drive.
They'll operate from the 32-yard line here, 2nd and 3. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So it's Eagle football here as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Throwing again on 2nd down. Wentz.
That right now, that's a defeated team out there. I think you can see it totally in their body language.
Hands on hips, heads low. It's just been a struggle from the start.
Yeah, this team has been thoroughly beaten right from the word go.
Go.
And on 3rd down, a nickel formation here defensively. Now Wentz. Oh, the pressure too great, and he goes down once more. Now the Cowboys going to burn the first of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. Here's Matt Weil now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. Fielded at the 33. It's a 45-yard punt, 6 yards on the return. And now Dallas gets set to take the field. And a few kneel downs should just about do it. Now, defensively, they do have all 3 timeouts, but very little reason to use them at this point. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Here's Weber. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 3.
That's it. That's what you want. Straight ahead positive gain. Just keep that clock ticking.
So they'll come up after the gain of 7 on a 2nd and 3. That one looks like he'll throw here. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And now off to the races down the right side. Touchdown, Cowboys. Michael Gallup with his 2nd TD of the game, his 6th on the year, as his guys continue to pour it on. His first career touchdown pass, and it's cliche to say, but he's probably been envisioning this since he was a little kid. That's a cool moment.
It really is. So enjoy the moment, enjoy the time, celebrate, Save the full reflection for later, but make sure you grab someone on the sidelines and say, hey, make sure I get that football, okay?
Prater for the extra point, and the lead will swell by one more. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Here comes Eagle offense now as they get set to take over here. They've lost this one. Their offense has struggled. Do they try to put together something here at the end just to take into next week?
Yeah, sometimes teams want to do that and coaches want to. I remember one time I was on a team and we were losing late in the game like this, and you knew it was lost. It was over, right? And the coach called a running play and pretty much said to everyone, I want to see.
Is this intercepted? It is. It's intercepted. Picked up by Anthony Brown. And to the 43. So down inside the 45 to the 43-yard line. That's where they'll take over. And that one, Charles, is just going to about wrap up what was no doubt a dominating defensive performance.
Yeah, I don't care what team it is. I don't care who you play, whether they're strong offensively or not. Just giving up 3 points in the NFL, that's absolutely a dominant performance and one that they can build on.
And that'll hurt the average a bit as this time they're able to get him behind the line. It'll be a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd and 11. When this offense gathers to watch the tape, they're going to like a lot of what they saw. They put up big numbers, but they might fast forward through that last play.
Oh, there won't be any fast forwarding, partner. I've sat in those sessions before. You end up spending more time on the bad plays than you do on the good ones. It's just the nature of coaches. But I know sitting in that room, when you've had a big game, the night that they've had, you don't want to hear that. You just want to focus on the good stuff.
Well, Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on offense.
They can't help but feel great about themselves, can they? I mean, what a game to put up that number of points, continually feeling like they're moving the ball and things are working and clicking. They think that they can bottle this and carry it with them.
And as an offensive coordinator, you just don't think you can do anything wrong. Whatever you call, run, pass, it's all going to work.
That's called being in the zone.
So for the Cowboys, the win will help them keep pace in the playoff race as they move to 6-3 on the year. And they'll get another road date next week as their opponents will be the Washington Redskins. Meanwhile, for the Eagles, they'll lose an important one here as that drops them to 5-4 on the season. And they'll be on the road next week as they get a date with the Seahawks in Seattle. I'm Brandon Gaudin. Certainly have to thank Charles Davis, my broadcast partner, and our entire crew. We'll catch you next time right here. It's the NFL on EA Sports.
Tell me what you want, what you need. Tell me what you wanna give. How much blood would you bleed? I'ma tell you I'm a misconceiver. I'm a believer. Someone better kick my fever. Tell me it's 100 degrees underneath my whole flesh. Everyone tells me it's a bit of a mess. I'ma tell the risk I was never at the end. I would never get this off my chest. Oh, I'm forgetful. Someone better tell me I was always on the edge. Overstay your bearings. I would never underestimate. Oh, barely my
The young, incredible, honestly unforgettable. You a Joe like Chappelle show. This so perennial. Do this for my millennials. I be murdering any flow. I just had to let you know. It's the young, incredible, honestly unforgettable. You a Joe like Chappelle show. This so perennial. Do this for my millennials. I be murdering any flow. Yeah. I just had to let you know. Yeah. Give me that work and I can sell it. I put it on the line like I ain't selfish, nah. The story flip if I let you tell it. Put my heart and soul in so you feel it. I ain't never faking, I'm the realest since Tupac in imprisonment, claiming his innocence. Currently, I'm the greatest rapper in a sense. But any currency, I'm still guaranteed my wins. This is coming from within, I stuff for real, I don't pretend. When the OG spilling knowledge, bet it's best you soak it in. I'm a prophet to them scholars, got them chakras opening. Got them fixing up they octaves, now they truly focused in. I'm seeing 2020 visions. Daily manifesting on my premonitions. Best to keep it neutral, got my own religion. The brainwash, gotta make your own decision. My word is James Bond, I stay on the mission. Coming for the top position, ain't no competition, man. Pull up in the top, it's missing, the opposition in. All that lane switching, this is what the game is. It's the young, incredible, honestly unforgettable. You a Joe like Chappelle show. This so perennial. Do this for my millennials. I be murdering any flow. I just had to let you know. It's the young, incredible, honestly unforgettable. You a Joe like Chappelle show. This so perennial. Do this for my millennials. I be murdering any flow. I just had to let you know.
I do this for the family, I might just blow my wheel. I'm keeping it so for real. Who feeling that glowing hill? I'm giving they souls the chills. My jewelry code is chill. Stories treacherous, I effortlessly show them skills. Yeah. Paper stuff the edge like I don't know no bill. See the pain deep in my eyes, they know it's real. Yeah, been this way, way before the deal. Say this one for your photo real. Blessing after testing, I'ma show them skills. Show them skills. Yeah, how about it? How about it? You want it, you have it, you got it. Go snatch a skirt the lot. Go ahead, jump it, how about it? How about it? Rep for your prom. When you're supposed to pop in your projects. Pain driven, itching, drumming. Hey, look how far we coming. Heartbeat on the streets. You can do it. Ain't built for the weekend. Sweet. This sugar. One man army, but get deep. Watch what you doing. I ain't damaged goods. Damn out the clay. You wish you could. I do this for the family. I might just blow my wheel. I'm keeping it so for real. Who feeling that glowing hill? I'm giving they souls the chills. My jewelry code is chill. Stories treacherous, I effortlessly show them skills. Yeah.